Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, All Things Keto with Kelsey. I'm Kelsey and today I am planning on doing a massive freezer meals prep session. So today on the schedule I have taco meat, chicken, keto, low carb chicken pot pie. Freezer meals are something that I use to keep me motivated to keep eating keto because we all have those days that we just don't feel like cooking, or we've had a really busy day and we just don't have time and we'd like to just grab takeout. But for me, keeping 3 or 4 different freezer meals ready at all times in the freezer, it just kind of helps me that if I'm like, okay, I know today's gonna be busy, I'm gonna pop this out of the freezer, thaw it, and then, you know, about an hour before dinner, I can just throw it in the oven. Or if it's taco meat, is one of the easy things because it's just all cooked and everything. So I'll just pop it in the microwave, make the kids quesadillas, you know, throw a taco bowl together for myself or something like that. It's just a great hack that I use to save money on going out to eat and to just stay keto with the real food that I want to be eating. I'm going to bring you along for this chaotic ride and see how that goes. It's usually pretty crazy. I am ready to dive in and get started on freezer prep. Okay, I'm getting ready to put my homemade taco seasoning together. Here are all my ingredients for my taco meat that I'm doing. I have my homemade taco seasoning. You can use any taco seasoning you like. I have 12 pounds of hamburger that are thawed and ready to be cooked up. So I have gone to my recipe and I've just kind of done the math to see what kind of how much seasoning I'm gonna need to be mixing up, and then how much I'm gonna times the recipe. So this recipe will be about 8 times, so I'll need about 8 green peppers and 4 onions. These green peppers are quite large, so I'm just gonna use 6, and then these onions are kind of on the small side, so I'm gonna use 5 instead of 4. Okay, so I have a little bit of avocado oil preheating in this pan, and then I have half of my onions and peppers, and I'm just going to pour them in here. And they will saute probably on medium heat while I cut up the rest of the vegetables. So the peppers and onions are in the 2 pans on the stove right there, sizzling away. So right now I am going to work on my next recipe of chopping onions and celery I'm going to be making a low carb chicken pot pie, and I like to just put these in the freezer and just pull them out at any time. For my chicken pot pie recipe, I also went through the recipe and just kind of added up how much of what ingredients I needed. So I am going to do 4 cups. Let's see, I'm going to do 2 onions and then 4 cups of celery. So I have my 4-cup measure. I'm going to chop celery until this is full, and I'm going to add my 2 onions probably to the bowl that I use for peppers and onions. Okay, so I have 4 cups of celery chopped up and then 2 cups of onion. I actually checked the recipe again. It said 2 cups, not 3 onions. So got those. I'm getting ready to put my chicken thighs in the oven to cook for my chicken pot pie. My peppers and onions are done on the stove. So I'm gonna put 8 pounds of these chicken thighs. I'm gonna salt and pepper them, and I'm just gonna put them on a cookie sheet, and I'm gonna put them in the oven at 400, probably for 20 to 30 minutes until they come up to 165. So one of my biggest struggles when I'm doing major meal prep for the freezer and I'm using multiple recipes at the same time is kind of keeping my workspace clean. Often things will just kind of pile up, and it just makes for cleanup a really difficult cleanup later. So one of my biggest tips is to just kind of keep cleaning as you go. So I'm just keeping my workspace as clean as possible, and that just kind of keeps the end mess a little bit less. Okay, so my peppers and onions are all sauteed. I'm preheating the same pans without washing them in between to start cooking up my hamburger. So I'm going to cover these pans and crank the heat up on high, and that will keep most of the heat in the pans and cook the meat a little bit faster, and I'll stir them like every 5 or so minutes. The hamburger just finished cooking, the last bit of it, and as you saw earlier, I had mixed all of the meat that had been cooked with the peppers and onions and then the taco seasoning. I did drain the first 9 pounds of ground beef. My husband just doesn't care for like super fatty taco meat, so the last 4 pounds, I am going to just put all that grease into the whole batch, and then I'll reevaluate, see if I need to add a little bit more to make it juicy enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour the 3rd batch of meat into my taco meat mixture. Alright, I'm just gonna mix it in. And I have also salted the taco meat while it was cooking, which I didn't show you guys. So I like to taste especially for salt. Feels like the flavors are good enough. So now I'm just gonna set this on my counter to cool enough before I put it into my Ziploc bags.